When singing not my mother tongue, confident like not there leh. Hi, today I'm going to share with you some challenges as a singer singing a language that I'm not familiar with, which is French. So I think this type of situation, this type of context also happen to people who love Chinese song, but they are, let's say, English speakers. And when they want to sing Chinese song, they don't feel very accurate when they are biting certain words. It's not just people who speaks English, but also for people who don't speak Mandarin, they only speak Hokkien or Cantonese. Certain words is not accurately pronounced, and they knew they have this problem, but they are not very sure what exactly the problem is. This also happened to me singing this French song Voila by Barbara Pravi. So this video is going to be split into 3 sections. The first one is singing French classical vocal pieces and how myself as a classically trained singer learning this type of French classical pieces can help me in singing this type of modern French chanson. And what are the characteristics of French in classical vocal pieces? In the second part is the characteristics of modern French chanson. Lastly, I'm going to share with you the challenge of singing the lyrics of Voila. Let's dive right into it. When we sing classical vocal pieces written in French, every syllable is written with a designated note. For example, certain syllable at the end of a word, when come to daily speaking, we will drop. But in singing French classical pieces, we will purposefully, the composer will usually write an extra note to properly deliver that syllable, the end of that word. For example, ta lèvre chante sur le pas de ma porte. So the word porte is like we add it with a t sound, but in the song itself, we have to sing a ta lèvre chante sur le pas de ma porte. When we speak, it's porte. When we sing in classical pieces, it becomes porte. Okay, let's go into the characteristics of singing a modern French chanson. So this, which is our Voilà by Barbara Pravi. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 examples, which I think is singing a modern French chanson is a very different experience when compared to singing classical pieces. The reason is because we need to drop certain words. Sometimes we need to connect all the words together. First example I want to give you is the first paragraph. Moi, ce que je veux, c'est qu'il y a des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. There is a lot of connection here. For example, moi, ce que je learning when I was learning French lyric diction to prepare my Reverse Shahrazad's song cycle, I took a lesson with someone who speaks the language. And what I learned from that experience is that we want to be able to pronounce individual words before we want to put in the connections. I want to give you an example of the lyrics from Voila, which is one of the very difficult sentence that I have encountered at the very beginning of learning these lyrics. So it is, I'm going to read word by word first. Moi, ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent. There are a few difficulties. I'm going to point it out one by one. So the first one is the ce que je veux sound. It's like ce que je veux. You have to read it in a split second. Ce que je veux. Which is not happening in Mandarin, Hokkien, Cantonese, English, Malay, Japanese. I cannot relate to any of this language that I have basic with. The second one is when you look at the lyric itself, right? The way when you read it is actually not how it is spelled on paper. So when we are going to connect everything together, it's going to be moi ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. So just now when we read individual words, it was qui arrivons jusqu'à vous. But when we put it into the melody, it becomes qui arrivons jusqu'à vous. Because I'm not a native speaker, sometimes I will buy the words quite harshly compared to those native speakers. My French lyrics teacher told me that I have to loosen certain words. So I'm going to share with you another words that I find it very, very difficult. Okay, so that is the second half of the music. So let's look at these lyrics. Okay, this is the beginning of the second half of the song Voila. So let's read it individually. Ne partez pas, je vous en supplie, restez longtemps. So when we're going to connect everything together and sing into the lyrics, I'm going to point out the first challenge. Je vous en supplie is very difficult because it's quick. Because when we learn IPA, we will learn the D and the je sound. I want to bite it very tightly, become je vous. But when you want to become a more conversational style and listen to the singer, the original singer herself, what I actually hear is something like je vous, je vous. It's like an SH sound. And the second difficulty is to put in the liaison. You have to connect it. Je vous en supplie become je vous en supplie. But what makes it difficult is the third layer on top of this, which is to sing into the rhythms plus the melody of the song. It took me a while to learn the rhythm first and then learn the solfege and then put in the lyrics. And actually, I did a guide recording for myself to make this progressive learning. Another place that I find it really, very difficult is the me faisons vont, je sais pas comment. So this is how we read word by word, right? But when we want to sing like a daily speaking style, a conversation style, and when I listened to the original singer, it sounds like it's especially for the je sais word. So we don't want to read the je sais. We want to make the je sais become sh. So, and make this sh sound become the end of the vous. So this is how I do it. Ça me sort peut-être pas, non, mais faisons-vous pas comment. One tip here is we don't want to look at the word and think from a perspective of the meaning. We want to dissociate ourselves from the meaning and treat it as a pure technical thing. It's just a sound. So vous, je sais is a meaning. So we want to think of vous sound and sh sound. Whoosh, whoosh. And I practice a few times and then until we get it, we integrate it. I want to point out the last thing that is I'm not very used to it. So which is the word peut-être, which means maybe. When I hear the original singer, she just compressed the peut-être to that. I'm really looking forward to sing with the pianist Zhongxing to bring this live, and I will talk to you soon in the next video. Bye! And by the way, I'm so happy that my voice is back, but I'm still coughing. Hopefully I will recover soon.